Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Today, many people want to feel good all the time. Our modern life makes this seem possible. We live in a world full of easy pleasures. Think about your phone, endless online shopping, fast food, video games, and social media. These things are everywhere. We can access them easily, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are more types of these pleasurable things than ever before, and many are stronger or more intense. Our smartphone is like a modern needle. It delivers digital dopamine constantly. These experiences affect our brain. They release a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is part of the brain's reward system. It makes us feel good for a short time, and it makes us want more of the things that feel good. Scientists use dopamine to measure how addictive something can be. More dopamine usually means something is more addictive. Scientists have also learned something important. Pleasure and pain are connected in the brain. They are processed in the same areas. They work like a balance or a seesaw. When we experience pleasure, one side of the balance goes down, but the brain always tries to return to a level position called balance or equilibrium. To do this, it pushes back. Often, it pushes back so hard that the balance tips to the side of pain afterwards. This is a natural reflex. This explains why too much pleasure can actually lead to feeling bad. Feeling low after too much fun is a common example. That feeling of wanting more chocolate or wanting a good movie to never end is the balance tipped towards pain. This book is about pleasure and pain. It explains why this pleasure-pain balance is so important in our modern world of easy access to pleasure. We will look at how this system works. We will also learn from the real stories of people who have struggled with using too much of these pleasurable things. Their experiences can teach us a lot about ourselves. This problem is not just for people with serious addictions. Many of us use things like sugar, shopping, or social media more than we want to. We might regret how much time or energy we spend on them. The main goal is to understand the connection between pleasure and pain better. This understanding can help us manage our desire for pleasure. It can help us find a healthier balance in our lives. 2. Too much fun. Think about Kai. Kai loved shopping online. It started small, just buying things he needed. But soon he started buying things just for fun. The best part for Kai was not the item itself. It was the feeling he got when he decided to buy something, waited for it to arrive, and finally opened the package. When he opened the box, he felt excited, happy. But this good feeling did not last long. Soon, he wanted to buy something else to feel that excitement again. Why did Kai feel this way? It is because of dopamine. When Kai shopped and opened his packages, his brain released dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in our brain. It makes us feel pleasure. It also tells our brain, this is good, do it again. So Kai's brain learned that shopping made him feel good. This made him want to shop more and more. He started buying things he did not need. His house became full of boxes and cheap things like keychains and plastic sunglasses. He spent a lot of money, more than he had. Even when he returned items right after they arrived, he kept ordering more. He was hooked on the feeling. Technology makes it very easy to get hooked on things like shopping, games, or watching videos. Our smartphones are always with us. Apps for shopping like Amazon or games are just one click away. We can use them anytime, anywhere. Companies use bright colors, exciting sounds, and notifications to keep us interested. Think about getting a message that says "sale ends soon" or "you have a new like." These things make us want to check our phones again and again. It becomes hard to stop. The internet also gives us access to many more things than before. There are so many choices for shopping, news, videos, and games. Some things are also stronger now. For example, cannabis today can be 5 to 10 times more powerful than cannabis from the 1960s. It also comes in many different forms, like cookies, candies, and oils. Food companies add lots of sugar, salt, and fat to make food taste better and make us want more. Some activities release much more dopamine than others. Things like playing exciting video games or using certain drugs can release a lot of dopamine very quickly. This makes them very addictive. Companies know how our brains work. They know about dopamine and pleasure. They use this knowledge to make money. They offer free samples like Amazon does. They make apps easy and fun to use. They show us ads for things they think we will like. They want us to keep coming back, keep clicking, and keep spending money or time. This makes it very difficult for us to control ourselves, even when we know we are having too much fun. 3. Running from feeling bad. Many people try to run away from bad feelings like sadness or worry. David's story shows this. In college, he felt very anxious. Talking to new people or speaking in class was hard for him. He went to the student health service for help. A doctor gave him pills for anxiety and for attention problems. David took Paxil for anxiety and Adderall to help him focus. He said it was easier to take a pill than feel the pain. Taking pills seemed helpful at first, but soon David needed the pills just to study. He started needing more Adderall to get the same effect. He also needed other pills like Ambien to sleep. Trying to escape his anxiety with pills did not make the anxiety go away. Instead, it created new problems. He became dependent on the pills and hid this from his wife. Running from bad feelings often makes things worse later on. Why did David think taking pills was the best way to deal with his feelings? Our world today often tells us we should always be happy and avoid discomfort. We see advertisements and messages that push happiness. Some parents try to protect their children from all difficult experiences. They worry that sadness or failure will harm their child later. This idea became popular after the work of Sigmund Freud, a famous doctor. Modern medicine also focuses on stopping all pain. In the past, some doctors, like Thomas Sydenham in the 17th century, thought a little pain could be natural or even useful. Now, the goal is often zero pain. This has led to a large increase in prescriptions. In the United States, more than 1 in 4 adults takes a psychiatric drug daily. More than 1 in 10 Americans takes an antidepressant. Use of these drugs is rising in many rich countries. Prescriptions for stimulants like Adderall doubled in the U.S. between 2006 and 2016. Prescriptions for sedatives like Xanax also increased by 67% between 1996 and 2013. It is easy to think, like David, that pills are the main answer to feeling bad. But always trying to escape bad feelings can make us feel worse in the long run. Our brain has a system to balance pleasure and pain. You can think of it like a seesaw. When we experience pleasure, one side goes down. When we feel pain, the other side goes down. The brain works hard to keep this seesaw level. If we constantly use things like drugs or exciting activities to push the pleasure side down, the brain pushes back strongly on the pain side. It tries to bring the seesaw back to the middle. Sometimes, it pushes back so hard that the pain side ends up lower than before. This means that trying to avoid pain can actually make us feel pain more easily later. This pleasure-pain balance might explain why many people in wealthy countries report feeling less happy and more anxious or in pain than in the past, even with comfortable lives. 4. How our brain works. Our brain is always trying to stay balanced. Think about a seesaw inside your head. This seesaw represents how we feel pleasure and pain. Normally, the seesaw is flat or level. This is called equilibrium or balance. Our brain likes to stay in this balanced state. When we do something pleasurable, like eating tasty food or playing a fun game, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine makes us feel good. It travels along a special path in our brain called the reward pathway. The more dopamine released, the more pleasure we feel. This makes the seesaw tip to the pleasure side. The bigger the pleasure or the faster it comes, the more the seesaw tips. But the brain doesn't like to be unbalanced for long. It wants to get back to level. So it starts to push back against the pleasure. Imagine little workers jumping on the pain side of the seesaw to make it level again. This pushback is automatic. After the pleasure stops, the brain's pushback can make the seesaw tip the other way, towards the pain side. This is why sometimes, after a lot of fun, we might feel a bit down or empty. It's the brain trying to get back to balance, but going a little too far the other way. If we keep doing the same pleasurable activity over and over again, the brain adapts. It gets stronger at pushing back. The first feeling of pleasure becomes weaker and shorter. The feeling of pain afterward becomes stronger and lasts longer. This means we need more of the activity to get the same good feeling as before. This is called tolerance. For example, the first time you play a video game, it might be very exciting. But after playing it many times, you might need to play longer to feel the same excitement. When we stop doing the pleasurable activity, especially after doing it a lot, we can feel bad. This is called withdrawal. Because the brain got so used to pushing towards the pain side, the seesaw gets stuck there for a while. We might feel anxious, sad, have trouble sleeping, or feel easily annoyed. This happens because the brain's balance is temporarily stuck on the pain side. It takes time for the brain to slowly return to its normal level balance. Our brain also learns to connect certain things with pleasure. These things are called cues. Cues can be people, places, sounds, or even feelings. For example, maybe you always eat snacks while watching TV. Soon, just turning on the TV can make you want snacks, even if you are not hungry. Seeing the cue makes the brain expect pleasure, and the seesaw tips towards wanting the reward. These cues can make it hard to avoid the activity we are trying to reduce. 5. Stopping for a while. Sometimes the best way to understand a problem is to stop doing the thing that might be causing it. This idea is very important when we use something too much, like playing video games for many hours or constantly checking our phones. Taking a break from the habit can help our brain. This break is sometimes called a dopamine fast. Let's think about a young person named Delilah. She felt very anxious. She started smoking cannabis, often called pot or weed, because she thought it helped her anxiety. Soon, she was using it every day from morning until night. Her parents were worried and asked her to see a doctor. Delilah told the doctor that cannabis was the only thing that helped her anxiety. The doctor suggested an experiment: stop using cannabis completely for 1 month. Delilah did not want to do this at first. She thought her anxiety would get worse. But the doctor explained that sometimes the thing we use to feel better can actually start to cause the problem. Using cannabis every day might be making Delilah more anxious, not less. The only way to know for sure was to stop for a while. Delilah agreed to try stopping for 1 month. Why does stopping help? Remember the pleasure-pain balance in the brain. When we use something pleasurable a lot, the pain side of the balance gets stronger. Our brain tries to keep things level. If we stop using the substance or doing the behavior, the brain has a chance to go back to normal. This process is called homeostasis. It means the brain finds its level balance again. After the balance is level, we can feel pleasure from simple things again, not just the strong drug or behavior. Stopping for about a month often works well. Studies show that after 4 weeks without a substance like alcohol, many people feel much less depressed or anxious. The first 2 weeks might be hard. When we stop something we use a lot, we can feel bad. This is called withdrawal. Common feelings during withdrawal are anxiety, feeling easily annoyed, problems sleeping, and general unhappiness. It's important to know that this bad feeling is temporary. It usually gets better after about 2 weeks. So, the steps for taking a break are simple. First, understand your habit, like how much and how often you do it. Second, stop the habit for a set time, like 1 month. Third, pay attention to how you feel during the break. Notice the difficult feelings of withdrawal without judging yourself too much. Understand they are part of the process. Fourth, learn what the break teaches you. Delilah learned that stopping cannabis actually made her anxiety disappear. She realized the cannabis was causing her anxiety. Fifth, decide what to do next. After the break, you can choose to continue stopping, or maybe use the substance or do the behavior much less often in a controlled way. 6. Making rules for yourself. Sometimes just deciding to stop using something too much is not enough. Our willpower is not always strong when we really want something. Self-binding can help. This means making rules for yourself. You create barriers like walls between you and the thing you use too much. These barriers make it harder to start using the thing. For example, you might delete a shopping app from your phone. You could put your phone in another room when you need to work. Or you might decide not to keep unhealthy snacks in your house. Self-binding accepts that willpower is sometimes weak. It helps you make a good choice before the strong desire starts. One type of rule uses physical distance or barriers. You keep the thing that tempts you far away. Think about the old Greek story of Odysseus. He wanted to hear the dangerous siren's song but not crash his ship. He told his sailors to put wax in their ears so they could not hear. He also told them to tie him to the ship's mast so he could not jump off. This is physical self-binding. You can do this too. You can put your TV in a closet. You can leave your game console in the garage. Some people only use cash, not credit cards, to control shopping. Others use special boxes with timers to lock away things like cookies or phones. There are even medicines that act like physical barriers inside your body. Naltrexone can block the good feeling from alcohol or opioids. Disulfiram makes people feel very sick if they drink alcohol. Very serious physical barriers include surgeries to make the stomach smaller for people with food addiction. Another type of rule uses time. You decide when you can do the activity or how long you can do it for. For example, you might only allow yourself to play video games on weekends. Or you might set a timer and only watch videos for 1 hour each day. Some people decide not to use social media before 5 p.m. Just tracking how much time you spend on your phone can help you see the problem. Studies show that limiting the time you have access to something enjoyable can help control how much you use it. But time rules can be hard. When you are enjoying something, time can feel different, and it is easy to break your own rules. Highly rewarding activities can make it difficult to stick to future plans. A third type of rule involves categories. You decide which types of things are okay and which types you must avoid. This helps you avoid your main problem, but also the things that trigger your desire. This is useful for things you cannot stop completely, like eating or using the internet. For example, someone addicted to gambling on sports might need to avoid watching sports on TV or reading sports news. Someone trying to control eating might follow a special diet, like avoiding all sugary foods. This means sugar is in the avoid category. One man who struggled with sex addiction had to avoid any pictures or videos that were sexual. He even avoided seeing his own naked body because it was a trigger for him. These rules help avoid starting the cycle of wanting more. 7. Using pain to feel better. It might sound strange, but sometimes feeling a little bit of pain can help us feel better later. This is not about serious injury. It is about choosing small discomforts. Examples are doing hard exercise or taking a cold shower. One man found this helped him stop using drugs. After quitting drugs, he felt bad. He tried cold showers and then ice baths. He put ice in his bathtub. The water was very cold, about 14 degrees Celsius. He sat in the ice water for 5 to 10 minutes every morning and before bed. The first few seconds felt very painful, but then his skin felt numb. When he got out, he felt amazing, like he had taken a drug. He said he felt great for hours. This helped him stay away from drugs for years. Why does this happen? Our brain always tries to stay in balance. When we feel pain, our brain works to balance it. It releases chemicals that make us feel pleasure after the pain stops. This good feeling can be stronger and last longer than the first feeling of pain. Scientists saw this in experiments. Dogs got small electric shocks many times. After some time, the dogs seemed less scared during the shock. They seemed very happy afterwards. Their heart rate also slowed down a lot after the shock stopped. This showed they were relaxed. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates also noticed that pleasure often follows pain. This idea has a name: hormesis. Hormesis means that a little bit of stress or discomfort can make our bodies stronger and healthier. It is like exercise for our cells. Studies show that animals exposed to a little bit of heat or animals that eat less food sometimes, like intermittent fasting, can live longer or become healthier. Exercise is a very good example of hormesis. When we exercise, it is a bit hard for our bodies at first, but exercise is very good for our mood and brain. It releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin that make us feel good. It helps grow new brain cells. Studies show that cold water can increase dopamine in the blood by 250%. Regular exercise, even just walking for 30 minutes a day, can make us feel happier and less anxious. It can also help people use drugs less. Sometimes doctors even use pain to treat pain. Hippocrates wrote about this long ago. Acupuncture uses small needles. Exposure therapy helps people face their fears slowly. By facing the fear, which is a type of pain, the fear gets smaller over time. People can become more confident, like the climber Alex Honnold, who learned to climb without fear after years of practice. But we need to be careful. We can get addicted to pain, just like pleasure. The man who took ice baths started making them colder and colder. Some athletes train too much and hurt themselves. Some people get addicted to extreme sports or even hurting themselves. Finding the right balance is important. Using small discomforts in a healthy way can help reset our pleasure-pain balance. It can make us stronger and happier. 8. Being honest and feeling okay. Telling the truth can be hard. Sometimes we feel embarrassed or afraid of what others might think. But being honest is very important, especially when we are trying to find balance in our lives. Let's read Maria's story. Maria was recovering from drinking too much alcohol. One day, she opened a package that came for her brother, Mario. She knew she shouldn't, but she did it anyway. Later, Mario asked her if she opened it. Maria lied and said no, but she felt bad about lying. The next morning, she told Mario the truth. She said she was sorry. She expected him to be very angry, but Mario understood. He put his hand on her shoulder and thanked her for being honest. Maria felt much better after telling the truth. Being honest helps us in many ways. First, it helps us understand ourselves. When we tell the truth about our actions, even small ones, we see our behavior more clearly. We cannot hide from ourselves. This awareness helps us make better choices. Second, honesty builds stronger relationships. When we share our true feelings and admit our mistakes, people trust us more. Showing our real selves, even the parts we don't like, helps us connect with others. People feel closer to us when we are vulnerable and honest. Sometimes when we make a mistake, we feel shame. Shame is a difficult feeling, but there is a helpful kind of shame. It is called prosocial shame. This happens when we feel bad about something we did wrong, but the people around us don't push us away. Instead, they accept us and help us fix the mistake. Groups like Alcoholics Anonymous help people experience this. They offer support and guidance. This helps people feel like they belong, even after making mistakes. It helps us learn and grow without feeling alone or rejected. Finding balance in life is not about escaping our problems or feelings. It is about facing life with courage. Being honest with ourselves and others is a powerful tool. Connecting with people who support us is also very important. Honesty and connection help us feel okay and live better lives. Have you ever found that being honest, even when difficult, helped you feel better in the long run?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.